People often ask me why I became the chair of the New Israel Fund. And the answer is easy. NIF combines two of my greatest passions, a love of Israel and a desire for social justice and equality. NIF is an organization that is dedicated to making a better Israel, an Israel that meets the needs of all its inhabitants, an Israel that lives up to the vision of the Declaration of Independence. Why should I care about that? I say it's natural. Like many of you in this room, I grew up in a socially liberal household with a commitment to Jewish traditions and practices, with a love of Israel at its heart. My parents were active fundraisers for the JNF. I was active in a Jewish youth group. I spent my gap year studying in Jerusalem and teaching English in Ashkelon. As a college student, I fought off boycott motions on the floors of NUS conference. As a graduate student in the United States, I even met my wife at a Chug Ivrit. Zionism was in my bloodstream. And yet it was not a Zionism of myths and facts, that Israel could do no wrong. It was a Zionism that was challenging and critical. It was a Zionism that saw no contradiction between self-determination for the Jewish people and equal and just treatment for the Palestinians living within and beyond the Green Line. It was a Zionism that cheered when Yitzhak Rabin made his famous handshake with Chairman Arafat on the White House lawn. It was a Zionism that cried when just a few years later, Yitzhak Rabin was gunned down at Kikar Malchei Yisrael. Tonight, we salute the memory of former Prime Minister Rabin and are honored that his son Yuval is here with us. The years after Rabin's assassination were difficult for many of us. Many of us felt like giving up. And yet, we knew and we know deep down that that is the wrong response. We know that there must be people in Israel who want something different, who want to create a fairer society, a society that respects the principles of pluralism, tolerance, and justice that are so dear to us. For me, that is what NIF represents. NIF is a leading advocate for democratic values in Israel, as well as providing grants to over 100 organizations each year. Through Shatil, NIF's initiative for social change, we provide hands-on assistance to literally thousands of organizations. NIF builds coalitions, empowers activists, and takes the initiative in setting the public agenda. Tonight, we have heard the inspiring words from three of our grantees, Gadi, Samach, and Eli. They deserve to be honored for the work that each of them and their organizations do to promote shared society in Israel. But as well as striving towards a shared society, NIF and its grantees work tirelessly to promote civil and human rights, social and economic justice, and religious freedom. But NIF cannot do this without your support. And without your support, NIF cannot carry out its wonderful work in educating the community in this country about the work that it does in Israel. And this work is also vital as we seek to inspire new generations. And I'm thrilled that there are nearly 100 young people in this room listening to these messages, that they can find an Israel that they can identify with, an Israel whose values echo their own, and that there is hope for the future. Tonight, I'm asking you to give generously to enable Gadi, Samach, and Eli, and the hundreds and thousands like them to build a better, more civil society in Israel. And I'm going to ask you to do something extra as well. The last few weeks have seen considerable demands placed on the NIF team with the increase in violence and as the different communities have become more fearful of one another. On the ground, NIF has been active in reaching across the divides, trying to calm tensions, encouraging Israelis to work towards a different and more hopeful vision of the future. NIF has helped to bring together, for instance, the Omdim B'Yachad group of 50 organizations, which arranged a large public event in Jerusalem just 2 weekends ago to spread the message that there is an alternative to fear, racism, and hatred. And to help NIF with this additional work in responding to this emergency situation, I'm going to ask you to give a further donation than the one that you were planning to make. I am very proud that the Board of Trustees of NIF in the UK has committed to increasing their donations by 10% from last year, with the additional funds going specifically to the emergency fund. And I'm going to ask you to do the same. Table hosts, can you please hand out your pledge cards to the guests? Please give generously. Thank you.